The animation of Blue Lock Season 2 is easily one of the worst things I've seen in many years. The anime industry has been on fire recently. We're getting stuff like Demon Slayer, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, and the animation just looks amazing. So when the Blue Lock anime was announced, everyone thought it was going to be an absolute banger. And I mean, that makes sense. Just look at that freaking beauty. Mwah! I'm not gonna lie. When Season 1 came out, the animation was good, but definitely not a masterpiece. And you know what? That was fine, because as Blue Lock fans, we knew that the best arcs were coming. So for 2 long years, we waited, patiently hiding in the shadows of good anime. We trusted that Studio 8-Bit was going to cook something insane for the second season. We believed that the most sold manga of 2023 was finally going to get the anime that it deserved. And now Season 2 is out, and 8-Bit... You better be fucking joking. So today, I'm going to show you everything that's bad with this season's animation, but also everything that's good. And I'm even going to find out if there's still hope for Season 3. The first thing you need to know is that before the second season's first episode, Studio 8-Bit released a trailer. And the second it came out, everyone lost their minds because of one reason. Check this out. Okay, this is my first time watching this trailer, so breathe. Let's not get angry. Everything's okay. But trust me, my eyes were so not ready for what I was about to see. Did you just see this pass? What? The passes are really, Oh, no. They did, no. Listen, the job of the trailer is literally to hype you up. Do I look hyped up? Like, in this moment, the only thing I'm thinking is, wow, I cannot wait not to watch this, actually. Studio 8-Bit made a huge mistake. They released a trailer that shows the first big problem with this season's animation. The main difference between a manga and an anime is that things move, right? Is the animation. But in this trailer, and to be honest, in the entire season so far, the animation means dragging an image across the screen. I repeat, dragging an image across the screen. I kid you not. There are genuinely so many people out there that are saying that the manga has better animation than the anime. What? Like, are you telling me that watching Blue Lock Season 2 is basically like reading an uglier version of the manga, but colored? You know what? Regardless of the problems Season 1 had, I don't remember moving PNGs being an issue. I know that the anime community can be a little intense, but after watching this trailer, I kind of get it, which is really sad because I know how high Blue Lock can be. It's one of those stories where you just need good animation more than almost any other anime. But let me tell you, the PNGs are only the tip of the iceberg because there are even bigger problems in Season 2. So after I was finally able to produce enough copium, I decided to continue watching. And even though I thought it would genuinely be impossible to find something positive to say, the first episode actually did something much better than Season 1, and no one is talking about it. So, okay, there's this scene in the beginning of episode 1 where there's a 1v1 between a character called Rin and his brother. And the animation doesn't look incredible, if we're being honest, but the thing is, the lighting and the shadows do look like really unusual and almost kind of cinematic in a way. And a little bit later... Okay, so they're keeping this, like, cinematic side of it pretty often. That's really cool. Listen, I know no one cares about this character, but I think this shot looks really awesome, and that's only because of the shadows and the lighting. Recently, it feels like a lot of anime have been trying to elevate their style. Series like Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man are really great examples. Because of their lighting and their focus on atmosphere, they are just so much more enjoyable to watch. And the first episode of Season 2 isn't anything special, admittedly, but I feel like it was trying to do something like this. The way the shadows look is great, and it feels really clean and dark, and again, kind of cinematic. And this season has a lot of these moments. I know that this doesn't sound like a big deal, but the funny thing is, I remember that this is something I really wanted to see in Season 2. And if they're able to bring back the movement of Season 1 and add this on top, the anime is going to look beautiful. So after the first episode, I was feeling kind of good because at least it was better than the trailer. But then the second episode came out and, yeah, I was so not prepared for that. Okay, I'm watching episode 2, and I just need to show you something. So 2 things. Do you see these speed lines? Yeah? Okay, now, do you see the particle effects around the character? Okay? Now that you saw them, let's play a little game. I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the episode, and I'm gonna count how many times they use these 2 effects. When I started counting, I knew there would be a lot of those, but I was shocked when I found out the truth. From the start of the episode, I counted 63 speed lines and 53 particle effects. And I'm being generous because I genuinely didn't count a lot of them. What are you doing? This is wild. Like, this is the first game of the entire season. It's a big deal. Instead of making the characters move with animation, they decided to use particle effects and speed lines. It almost kind of feels like they're trying to trick us into thinking there's actual animation instead of using animation. Dude, this is not a goal. Like, this is a bunch of purple particles. How are you not gonna animate an anime? I swear, Block Season 2 feels like one of those really old internet video games where there's an image and you choose an option and then you get the next image. Now that I said this, I'm genuinely not sure anyone's gonna understand what I'm talking about, but... Okay, so just to be sure, I rewatched my favorite episode from Season 1, and yeah, to be honest, they also used a lot of, like, these speed lines, but the thing is, it was definitely not as often. And most importantly, there were actual good moments of animation with and without these speed lines or particle effects. So it didn't feel like they were trying to trick us. But even though the season was going so wrong, I still tried to find something positive. And maybe that's just me losing my mind, but I think that by doing these terrible things, it actually created something kind of cool. If we forget that this isn't moving, this moment looks kind of sick. This is just a few seconds later, and again, if we forget that it's not moving, it looks good. Listen, I agree, this goal is so bad, but particles and aura are great. I know I complained a lot about all these special effects, but that's because they mostly use them instead of actually moving the characters. But the truth is, all these effects on their own, yeah, they do actually look really good. And for sure, auras and effects were already a big thing in the first season, but I feel like they elevated them just a little bit. Obviously, this is absolutely not enough to make this season look great, but if the movement issue is fixed and they add these effects on top of that, it's going to be incredible. I would love to stop here and tell you that the PNGs and the speed lines are the only problems, but there's something about this season's animation that is genuinely unforgivable, and I'm just gonna show you. Okay, so there's this really iconic scene where Isagi, the main character, is just doing terrible. This man is playing with people who are way better than him, and he's struggling. I mean, these guys are just ignoring him like he's not even there. One of them literally calls him Mr. Average to his face. Like, bro, what did he do to you? But then, Isagi has this moment where he understands exactly what he has to do. He suddenly beats the two best players in Blue Lock and scores one of the most insane goals in this entire series. And in the anime, it looks like complete shit. It looks like shit. It looks so bad. There are a lot of anime where most of the episodes look decent, but then during important moments, the animation suddenly looks insane. And if Vlog had terrible animation most of the time, but these legendary moments look good, maybe I would forgive it just a little bit. But this season, it's not just the scene I showed you. Almost every single iconic moment from the manga is completely ruined. At least in season 1, they knew how to make something look and feel freaking awesome when they needed to. I am so happy I rewatched this episode because the moment Chiri scores his goal is still one of the most hype moments in all of Blue Lock. I mean, the anime really did it justice. It's so good. And let me tell you, I struggled to find something good to say at this point, but surprisingly, season 2 just managed to do something else really well. Dude, the opening looks crazy. I just love how they made, like, the colors look. And here it's really simple, but they used red to show how angry the character is, and it really works. Dude, look at this. I know it's a small thing, but the vibrant purple color is perfect. Blue Lock is really intense. There are a lot of different characters with a lot of completely different abilities. And to show these differences, the series uses colors. This is such a smart idea because it makes every scene look exciting and each character stands out in their own way. And that's definitely something they already did in season 1. But again, I feel like they kind of took it a step further in season 2. And if they combined this with good animation, it would look phenomenal. Listen, I know this is not a big thing, but I'm really trying to find positives here because trust me, there are even more negative things I could say. Did they just use a page turn transition? Whoa, we are in 2024 and I witnessed a page turn I don't even know how to speak anymore. Okay, I had to pause here because they did the characters so dirty. What? All the things that make an anime different to a manga, they're all bad. So yes, this season is clearly worse than the first season that came out a while ago. But is season 3 going to be as good as season 1 or even better? The truth is, yes, this can absolutely happen. But there's one simple thing that Studio 8-Bit needs to do for it to happen. The U20 match is not one of the best arcs in Blue Lock. It's not one of the best arcs in sports manga. It's one of the best arcs in shonen, and it starts at chapter 113 of the manga. Even though the U20 game is amazing, this is only a third of the manga, and there are so many amazing games left. Currently, there are a couple of positive things with this season's animation. They're all small improvements, yes, but there's still improvements from season 1. And yeah, I genuinely think that some episodes have decent looking moments. But don't get me wrong, season 2 is still a massive downgrade from season 1, and it's not even close to what people expect from a manga that outsold freaking JJK and One Piece at some point. The bad parts are so much bigger than the good parts. But I think that the good parts show us that Studio 8-Bit has the potential to make something much better if they have the time and resources to do so. So now I think there are two things that can happen. Number one, the animation continues the way it is, and we just have to hope that it's slowly going to get better and better. And to be honest, that's not my favorite option. Or number two, they do what almost everyone is asking them to do. They take a break and put more effort and time into each episode. And listen, I am someone with huge amounts of copium, but this is a tough one, guys. Do I believe that they can get to the same level as season 1? Yeah, but do I believe they can do better than season 1 or even reach the same quality of animation we've seen from stuff like Demon Slayer, One Piece, or JJK? Not really, or at least not without taking a break. If you're an anime only, I am begging you to start the manga. As someone who has read it and who loves it, and as someone who has started their entire YouTube channel talking about Blue Lock, all of this seriously just sucks. But just like in Blue Lock.
One final time. I will